Why, hello there, it's Eddie LeMoine, and as we're kind of heading into the beginning of 2024, I thought I'd do a little bit of a State of the Union of what we're seeing happening out there. Now, those who don't know me, I'm a professional speaker. I do quite a few talks in a run of a year, probably anywhere from 60 to 80 presentations all over North America. Speak to a very, very wide variety of different types of organizations and associations, both kind of in Canada and in through the US. And so here's what we're seeing as we head into 2024. I think for a lot of businesses, it's going to be a tough year. In Canada, you're going to be paying back your CEBA loans. Interest rates are relatively high. Labor market's still going to be a struggle as we kind of head in through this year. And a lot of organizations are not back to their pre-pandemic revenue levels. And even if they were, the cost and inflation and interest rates are going to impact their ability to generate revenue from that. So what's the labor market going to look like as we head into this year? Obviously, the jobless rate is going to keep bumping up a bit. I mean, that's really why we keep raising interest rates, is they get companies to stop spending money on their employees and to push that to, so every time there's a kind of a job market indicator come out, or how many people are working indicator come out, it has an influence on where the interest rates will go. However, having said all of that, we're seeing about 8,500 Canadians every single week head into their retirement years. And it doesn't mean that all 8,500 were working, we're losing them out of the workplace, but I think you could probably safely say about 6,000 of them were probably working. So even when we hear things like, somebody laid off 4,800 workers this week, kind of think about it, 6,000 people probably left the workforce through retirement this week as well. And that happens every single week, and that's going to continue through the year. The labor market shortage is a real problem. It's every industry, it's every province in Canada. It's not just a Canadian problem. This is a G7 problem, which adds to something else. We're seeing an increase in remote work. So, a lot of people don't like it. They want the people back to work, but the reality is about 50% of the workforce right now are either in a hybrid work environment or working from home. Now that number might change, maybe 60% will go back to the office, 40, but there's always going to be a percentage of people that will want to work remotely, either full-time or in some kind of a part-time scenario. And that plays into this international recruitment. I live in a neighborhood now where I know a lot of my neighbors are actually not even working for Canadian companies, so they're working remotely for companies in other areas. And it's one of the things that the pandemic did, was it opened the possibility for global competition. So as the labor market skill shortage is a G7 problem, remote work will be a solution that a lot of countries will look to be able to recruit people from from Canada, because we're very well educated, very good technical resources, and really, really strong knowledge workers. So they're going to be a bit of a push for people to recruit in other areas. So we're going to continue to see that into the future. Obviously, artificial intelligence and technology has made just absolute leaps and bounds from, the kind of the end of 2022 to where we are right now. We're just seeing the very beginning of that, and that will be a bit of a savior for a lot of industry to be able to build capacity into their organizations. But I think the big thing for this year, we're going to continue to see skill shortage as a challenge, and then this is a problem that is again across all the G7 countries, and the competition even for skilled immigrant workforce is going to be a G7 challenge. So we're going to have a challenge finding people both within Canada and outside of the country to have them move and settle here and help with our GDP. So kind of stay tuned. I'll give you a little bit of insight as we see maybe the interest rates might go up and might impact what's happening a little bit more, or not so much the interest rates, but if the jobless market goes up, job rates, or we're hovering around 5.8 right now, if that goes up, that might have a little bit of an impact. But stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted on what we see happening as we head into the future.